Hello, my dear students of intermediate first year. I hope all of you are hale and hearty by the grace of Almighty, and you are staying at home and taking the advantages of these live classes. I'd like to welcome all of you who are with me from different corners of Bangladesh. I don't want to have any informal talkings. Actually, I'd like to start with my learning process. That is, I'd like to start the topic by which you will learn. Okay, and in the meanwhile, you have been able to know about the topic that I will discuss today. And before discussing, I'd like to just give you my own identity. This is Rajiv Roy. I'm a lecturer of the Department of English of Dhaka College. Okay, and I'm really overjoyed to stand in front of you to deliver a lecture, because it's a great opportunity for you as well as me. Why? I am getting an opportunity to give you something, and it is from your side and another opportunity to get something from me from Dhaka College. Actually, for the excellent and wonderful arrangement, I'd like to thank our Honorable Principal Sir, Professor Nehal Ahmed. At the same time, I'd like to thank our Chairman Sir of English Department, Professor Puranjoy Biswas, under the guideline of Professor Puranjoy Biswas. I will try my level best to provide you with some information that will be really beneficial to you. Okay, you know that in the meantime, our Honorable Chairman Sir, Professor Puranjoy Biswas, has already conducted 2 classes in English. Okay, and in his first class, he talked about the marks distribution and syllabus of English first paper and second paper. And in his second class, he has talked about preposition. And like you, I also attended these 2 classes, and I was really benefited. I learned a lot from my teachers' lectures. As our Honorable Chairman Sir has started English second paper, I'd like to start with English first paper. Okay, and in the meantime, you have not been able to know some of the new topics. That's why I'm going to start a new topic for you. Okay, and before starting the new topic, okay, frankly speaking, I'm going to start with question number 2 of English first paper. Question number 2 of English first paper. What is there at question number 2, my dear students? Tell me, write in the comment box. What is there at question number 2? Okay, before starting, some other things should be kept in mind. I will very often make a lot of questions, and I will try to get your answers, and you are requested to write your answer in the comment box. After the class is over, I will give some time so that I can get the comments, I can get the criticism. I will try to get, or I will try to see everything after the class is over. So you are requested to write your answer in the comment box, and if you fail to understand me, if you fail to understand my lecture, if you want to know something from me, please write in the comment box. After the class is over, I will try my level best, or I will try heart and soul to give you the answer. Okay, but before starting, I'd like to discuss the whole syllabus of English first paper. Why? This thing has already been done, but I'm going to repeat because I want to focus on which topics are really important for you, where you should focus, where you should give priority for learning English first paper. And you can write. That's why you should use the pen and scripts, and if you need to write anything, okay, I will tell one thing again and again, and you will get a lot of time to write things down. So my dear students, in brief, I'm going to tell you the whole syllabus of English first paper. You know that English first paper consists of 100 marks. English first paper consists of 100 marks. These 100 marks are divided into 2 segments. English first paper contains 100 marks. These 100 marks are divided into 2 segments. A part A, part B. Part A is called reading Part B is called writing. Look at the board. Part A is called reading, part B is called writing. Part A reading contains 60 marks, where part B writing contains 60 marks. So in total we have got 100 marks. My dear students, in total we have got 100 marks. Okay. By virtue of this part A and B, we will take preparation for 100 marks. And look at part A contains 60 marks. And under part A, there is question number 1 to 6. So there are 6 questions under part A, okay? And there are another 5 questions. There are another 5 questions under part B, okay? Question number 1 is dependent on a certain passage from your English for Today book. You know that you have an EFT book, that is English for Today book, approved by NCTB, and this book is really important. Why? Because at question number 1, look at my dear student, as question number 1 a scene passage is given. At question number 1 a scene passage is given. And depending on this scene passage, there are given 2 types of questions, A and B. At question number A, there is given MCQ. There are 5 MCQs given. For question number B, there is question answer. Look at, if you understand the passage from your EFT book or English for Today book, you will be able to answer MCQ and question answer very easily. It is a signal for you. It is a signal for you. 5 MCQs are given, and most of the MCQs are given based on vocabulary, that is synonym antonym. Most of the time synonyms are given. Okay, so try to understand the passage, try to understand the meaning of the words of the passage. Okay. And you can get good marks if you have a good preparation, if you understand the passage, and this passage is given from your EFT book. Okay. For question number 2, another scene passage is given. That's why I can say scene passage 2. First scene passage is given from your English for Today book. Second scene passage is given from your English for Today book. So there is a great importance of English for Today book, dear students. And depending on question number 2, we will have to write information transfer or flowchart. You will get either information transfer or flowchart depending on scene passage 2, but it is a fact that you will get flowchart, because in the previous questions of different boards, all times flowchart is given, flowchart has been given. That's why we have to take an excellent preparation on flowchart, and today's lecture is mainly on flowchart. I will tell you, I will show you some do's and don'ts of writing flowchart. Actually, our today's discussion will be on flowchart, but before discussing, I'd like to clarify the whole syllabus. Now, question number 3. For question number 3, another scene passage is given. Another scene passage. So 1, 2, 3 scene passages will be given from your English for Today book. Up to this lecture, I think you have got the importance of your English for Today book. Okay, there are 15 units. There are 15 units and 58 lessons. And from these 58 lessons, you must have to learn at least 20 or 30 passages. There are some 20 or 25 or 30 passages which are really important. Okay, and you must have to learn these lessons very clearly. If you can understand or learn these lessons, these importance lessons or vital lessons very effectively, I am sure you will get excellent marks in question number 1, question number 2 and question number 3. And don't feel disappointed because Dhaka College administration is beside you. We will try our level best to give you some knowledge so that you don't face any problem to write the answer. We are with you. Okay, for question number 3, another scene passage is given, and depending on this scene passage, you have to write summary. Okay, you have to write summary. If you want to write summary, you must have to have a clear conception about the passage. Clear to you? So up to this part, I have talked about question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. Question number 1, scene passage 1. Under question number A, MCQs are given. Under question number B, question answers are given. Under question number 2, another scene passage is given. Depending on scene passage 2, you will have to write flowchart or information transfer. Most of the time, flowchart is given. Okay. Then comes question number 3. At question number 3, scene passage 3 is given. Depending on this third scene passage, you have to write summary. Okay. Now, my dear students, question number 4. Question number 4 is cloze test with clues. Question number 5, cloze test without clues. Look at please. For with clues, you will be there are 5 marks. For without clues, there are 10 marks. In order to get 5 marks, you must have to fill in 10 blanks. 10 blanks, each of the blanks contains half marks. So in total, we have 5 marks. For filling the blanks without clues, there are 10 blanks and each of the blank contains 1 mark. So in total, we have 10 marks. Very interesting thing. Even the passage of flow, even the passage of with clues or without clues, even the passage of with clues or without clues can be given from your English for Today book. So now you can feel the importance of English for Today book. Each of the important lessons, that is, there are some 25 or 30 important lessons, and you must have to learn very effectively. Okay. So, up to question number 5, EFT is really important. Okay. Then comes question number 6. There is given rearrange. Rearrange contain 10 marks, but it will be unseen. It will be unseen. Okay. Up to question number 6, you have got something. And if you have any kind of question regarding first paper, please in the comment box, I will definitely give you the answer after the class is over. Okay. So this is all about part A. This is all part 1 or part A, which is called reading test. Reading test contains 60 marks. Okay. Now, let's talk about part B. Part B starts with question number 7. You have to write a paragraph. In first paper, for question number 7, most of the time textual paragraphs are given. That means paragraphs related to English first paper are given. Here EFT is also important. If you can understand the passages inside the textbook, you will be able to write the paragraph very effectively. Okay. Because information is needed. If you want to get information, you must have to understand the passages inside the textbook. Okay, for paragraphs you have 10 marks. And my dear students, the English department of Dhaka College will give you a list of paragraphs. Okay, and you will have to learn these paragraphs by yourself. We will give you a list of important paragraphs, okay? And I think you will be benefited if you learn these paragraphs by yourselves. Question number 8, it's completing story. For completing story, there are 7 marks, not 5, not 10. In your SSC level, you are told to write completing story only with 10 sentences, but in intermediate level, this embargo is not there. In order to complete the story, you can write on your own, okay? There is no limitation of lines. For question number 9, email or letter. Email or letter contains 5 marks. Question number 10, analyzing graph, chart, pie chart. Question number 11, this is really interesting as well as tough to some extent to you, and it is question number 11. It's about theme writing. A poem, normally a poem is given. Depending on the poem, you have to write the theme, and there is a limitation. You cannot write more than 50 words. You can write the theme of the poem in not more than 50 words, and this poem can be given from your English for Today book. So up to my discussion, you have already felt that. Up to my discussion, you have already felt that EFT is really important. And if you understand every passage, every important passage from your English for Today book, I am sure you will be able to get some excellent marks in English first paper. So my dear students, this is the marks distribution, or you can say syllabus of English first paper. Actually, I didn't want to talk about these issues. Actually, I wanted to start with flowchart, but before the class, I thought in a different way that before starting flowchart, I'd like to clarify the whole syllabus so that the students can understand me effectively. Now, our main target of discussion. And what is our target of discussion, my dear students? Now, I am going to start with flowchart. Flowchart is given at question number 2. Flowchart is given at question number 2. It's a very new topic for you. It's a very new topic for you, and flowchart is dependent on a passage. Flowchart is dependent on a passage, and I will tell you what should you do and what you should not do. And dear students, we will learn the best way of writing flowchart. We will learn the best way of writing flowchart. We will not do anything that makes clear to the teacher that you are a weaker student. You have to learn you have to learn the standard way of writing flowchart, and that's why I would like to take some 20 or 25 minutes. So flowchart is given at question number 2, and in order to write flowchart, a passage is given. Okay, so my dear students, we will on the board have a passage, okay, and after watching the passage, you will be able to know about the question pattern. Look at the board. We are going to start flowchart. For flowchart, a passage is given from your English for Today book. Okay. Now I am going to show you. A passage, and you will be able to learn the question pattern of flowchart. And after learning about the question pattern, we will try to learn how to write flowchart. Okay. And one thing, please, you can hear. If you want to have any question, you can, no problem. But please don't do anything in the comment box that destroys the environment of learning. But in other words, I can say, your active participation in the comment box always thrills me. Please be active in the comment box in a constructive way. Okay. Okay. So my dear students, I think you are watching the passage. Look at please. Question number 2 is, you are watching question number 2. What is there in the headline? Read the following text and make a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities. Dear students, it's a passage from your English for Today book. It's a passage given from your English for Today book, and before the passage there is a headline, read the following text. That means you have been told to read the passage or the text and make a flowchart, and you are told to make a flowchart showing the facilities. You have to show the facilities provided by public universities. So what is the objective of your flowchart? Your objective is to show the facilities of public universities, and inside this passage there are some information regarding the facilities provided by public universities. So my dear students, the passage is about the facilities provided by public universities. Okay, the passage is about the facilities provided by public universities, and you have to show the facilities. You have to show the facilities in the boxes. There are 6 boxes. Look at, under the passage there are 6 boxes, and from these 6 boxes the first box, the answer of first box is given. And what is the headline? Read the following text and make a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities. Number 1 has been done for you. The answer of first box has been given, and this is the representative of writing the other answers in the remaining boxes. You have to look at the first answer. In the first answer you will get a direction. Which way, which format you should use is given in the first box. According to the answer in the first box, you will have to write the answer in the 6 boxes. Okay, so my dear students, you will have to write 6 boxes. You will have to write 6 boxes. At first I will tell you how to draw the boxes of flowchart. This passage is really important. If you can understand the passage, you will be able to write the facilities provided by public universities. At first I will show you how to draw the passage, how to draw the boxes. How many boxes should you draw? You should draw 6 boxes. And from my side I would like to say that don't do anything that displeases the examiner. Your boxes should be excellent in terms of drawing. Look at, there should be 6 boxes, and you can draw the 6 boxes one by one or one under one. That means you can write the boxes of the flowchart either vertically or horizontally. My dear students, you can draw the boxes of the flowchart either vertically or horizontally. Okay, but before drawing the boxes, dear students, be attentive. Before drawing the boxes, you should write a headline. This headline will not give you marks, but this headline will prove that you are organized and you are highly talented and your test is high. Okay, so what is the line that you should write before drawing the box? Look at. And what is the subject matter? What is the subject matter of our flowchart? Dear students, what is the subject matter of our flowchart? The subject matter of our flowchart is facilities provided by public universities. What is the, every flowchart will be with a subject matter. If I say write a flowchart showing the causes of traffic jam, what is the subject matter? The subject matter is causes of traffic jam. If I say write a flowchart showing the special power of Gazipir, that is, you have to write about the special power of Gazipir. If I say write a flowchart showing the objectives of peace movement, what is the subject matter of your flowchart? The subject matter of your flowchart is the objectives of peace movement. But today's passage is about the facilities provided by public universities. This flowchart can be given in another way. And what is this? The subject matter of this flowchart may be changed. This subject matter might be write a flowchart showing why most of the students prefer public universities. Why most of the students prefer public universities? Actually, most of the students prefer public universities because of the facilities. Why most of the students prefer public universities? Or write a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities. The answers of these two flowcharts will be the same, because of the facilities, most of the students prefer public universities. Okay, so my dear students, you will have to write a headline. And what is the headline? Look at please, a flowchart showing the facilities are provided by public universities. A flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities is given below. You should write the headlines. A flowchart showing the facilities, after showing, you have to show the subject matter of the flowchart. A flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities is given below. This is the headline, and you should write this headline to create a good atmosphere so that the examiner becomes pleased with you, with your presentation. You can write a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities is given below or written below. You can write here is a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities. So you can write a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities is given below, is written below, or you can write here is a flowchart showing the facilities provided by public universities. This is about the headlines. Now I would like to talk about the boxes. In the meanwhile, I have already told you that flowchart, the boxes of flowchart can be drawn. The boxes of flowchart can be drawn either vertically or horizontally. That means you can create the box. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6. I have drawn 6 boxes one by one. This is an appropriate system. This is an appropriate system, but don't forget to give arrow. Don't forget to give arrow. Dear students, don't forget to give arrows. If you don't use arrow, to join the boxes of the flowchart, you will get 0 out of 10. There are 6 boxes. The answer of the first box will be given. So, for the first box, there is no mark for you. You will be able to get 10 marks if you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to write the answers of box number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you can write the box one after another, but don't forget to use arrow. If you don't use arrow, you will get 0. You will get 0 out of 10. Okay. The boxes should be drawn with pencils. The boxes should be drawn with pencils. Dear students, the boxes should be drawn with pencil. But in order to write inside the box, you have to use pen. You are requested to use pencils to draw the boxes. Okay, and inside the box you have to use pen to write the answer. And one important thing, the size of the box needs to be same. If it is 2 inches, it should be 2 inches. It should be 2 inches. The size of the box should be same. Okay. So, my dear students, you must have to, if you draw box like 1, 2, 3, please don't draw another box here. If you use vertical system, okay, continue it vertically. If you use horizontal system, horizontal process, maintain the horizontal process from first to last, but don't use like, please don't do it, my dear students. Okay, this is a wrong one. Okay, so up to this part I have told you that the size of the boxes should be similar. Number 2, you should use pencil to draw the box. And you can write either vertically or horizontally. Okay, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't draw any box here. Okay, and you can use another system. So, my dear students, use pencil. Don't forget to use arrow. The size of the boxes should be similar. Clear to you? And if you draw boxes one after another, complete the 6 boxes in a row. My dear students, if you face any difficulty, please put your question in the comment box. I will give you the answer after the class is over. If you fail to understand me, please write your question in the comment box. I will give you the answer after the class is over. I will check every line that you are writing right now. This is one of the system. There is another system. You can draw boxes like okay. Oh, sorry, there are 4 boxes. I don't have any space to draw another 2 boxes. Suppose there are 2 boxes under this 4. Okay. Okay. Some of you may not understand me. I'm going to draw 6 boxes for you. Six boxes. You have to put arrow here. Clear? So we have two options. These are the two options. The first option is this one, the second option is this one. But my dear students, I am such a teacher who always follows the question. In the question, boxes are drawn one after another. Okay, you should also draw the boxes one after another. But if you draw boxes like this, you will also get full marks. Okay, you will also get full marks. So my dear students, I am going to repeat what I have already told you within last 20 minutes. Write a headline. Write a headline. Oh, before that, please use a separate page. My dear students, please look at me. Please use a separate page to write flowchart. Okay. The page where you are writing flowchart should not be used for another item. Okay. In one page only flowchart will be written. So, write a headline, then box. Draw the box, and I have already told you how to draw the boxes. And now I'd like to tell you how you should write the answer inside the boxes. This is really important. Two things you must have to keep in mind: how to draw the boxes, and most importantly, how to write the answers, how to get the answer from the passage. Okay, dear students, this is the first lecture of flowchart. I will take another 1 or 2 lectures on flowchart. I will be unable to complete this topic with one class. I have already mentioned how to draw boxes. Now, I would like to tell you what should you write inside the boxes. What is the answer of you? That is, what are the answers that you should write? What are the ways of writing? What you should do and what you should not do. Okay, so I am going to rub the board. Okay, I have already given you a passage. I have already given you a passage. Let me read it out for you. Okay. What is the subject matter of our flowchart? The subject matter of our flowchart is the facilities. Let us read the whole passage. My dear students, you are requested to read the whole passage for one time. After reading, you are requested to give me 6 facilities provided by public universities. The first facility has been written in the first page. Offering wide range of subjects. If you get chance in a university, you will be able to study in different subjects. Okay, you will have to look for another 5 facilities. Okay, how and what should be the answers inside the box? This is very, very important. Dear students, look at me. In order to write the answer in the flowchart, the answers of flowchart should not be sentence based. Dear students, this is very, very important. The answers of flowchart should not be sentence based. What does it mean? It means you are not allowed to use any sentence in any box. You are not allowed to use any sentence. Clear to you? If you write full sentence in any box, you will get 0 for that. So, we should not write any sentence inside the box. So, what should we write? We should write short notes, or you can say points. We should write short notes or points. Actually, you should write phrases. So, my first recommendation to you: don't write any sentence in the box. Write phrases. Write phrases. What is phrase? In the meanwhile, you have been given a lecture by our chairman sir. He has already clarified phrase. I am going to repeat. Phrase is a group of words. Phrase is a group of words without any subject, without any finite verb, but it will give you a meaning or sense. Look at the first option. Offering wide range of subject. Is it a sentence? Is it a clause? Is it a tense? This is not a clause. This is not a tense. This is not a sentence. This is a phrase, because this part has been consisted with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, but in this part you don't get any subject or finite verb. That's why it's not a clause or sentence, it's a phrase. Your answer should be phrase based. Okay, in order to write the answer, you must have to start with capital letter. Dear students, you must have to start with capital letter. You must have to start with capital letter. So in each of the boxes of the flowchart, you have to start with capital letter. Then you must have to use phrase. Don't use the sentence. Definitely you will get big 0 for that if you write sentences. Please don't use any full stop at the end of each phrase, because phrase is not a complete sentence. You are not allowed to use any full stop after each sentence. Okay, so look at this. This is the first option, offering wide range of subjects. Don't give full stop here. Don't give full stop here. Don't start with small letter. Use capital letter. Clear? This is the first box. Now we will look for the answers. Okay, now we will look for the answers. There are 6 boxes, and inside 6 boxes you have to write 6 answers. The answers of the flowchart should maintain sequence. What does it mean? The facility which is written at the beginning will be written in the first box. The second facility will be written in the second box. Please don't break the sequence of the information in the passage. Is it clear to you? That means you have to write the answer. You have to write the facilities of public universities according to the sequence in the box. Now let me read it out. Public universities are the first choices of most of the students. Actually, public universities are liked by the students, by most of the students. Why? Because public universities give a lot of opportunities. Because of these opportunities, public universities are liked by most of the students. The public universities offer a wide range of subjects. If you read in a public university, you will be able to read in different faculties. There are faculties like science faculties, arts faculties, social science faculties, business faculties, fine arts. Under each faculty, there are a lot of subjects. If you get admission, if you have been able to get admission into a university, you will be able to study in different subjects. That's why, that is another facility why most of the students prefer public universities. Science, blah 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 blah. Then public universities attract the best mind to teaching. What does it mean? In public universities, you know that first class first, first class second, first class third. That means the brilliant students who hold up their position in the department are recruited as teachers. That is, the best students are recruited as teachers. Okay, that's why That's why quality education prevails there. This is another kind of opportunity. Then, although monetary compensation for teachers is anything but attractive, in public universities, the students in public universities, best student or brilliant students or toppers, you can say toppers, this one is known to you, toppers are given the chance to become teachers. Okay, toppers are given chances to be recruited as teachers. Okay, but there is a negative thing, and that is the compensation, the facilities given to the teachers are not attractive. This is not a facility, dear student. This is a deficiency, you can say. This is a deficiency of public university. Brilliant students are recruited as teachers. Brilliant students are recruited as teachers, but they are not given brilliant, I have used as brilliant opportunities. Okay. So in the meanwhile, we have got 2 or 3 facilities. The first one is offer wide range of subject, then attract the best mind to teaching, then library, laboratory, internet, research facilities are much better than anywhere else in the country. You will get a lot of benefits regarding library, laboratory and internet facilities. That is, you will get better opportunities regarding library, laboratory, internet and research facilities. Then symposiums, seminars, lectures, workshops, debates and exhibitions are often held in this institution. Okay, there are some public universities like Dhaka University, Jagannath University, Russia University, blah blah blah. If you go there, you will feel that every day different seminars, symposiums, lectures, debates are being held. This is one kind of facility, you can say that. Then there is ample scope for national and international exposure for promising young knowledge seekers. Those who are young can get opportunity so that they can flourish nationally and internationally. This is another opportunity. And the most important opportunity is that if you stay in the hall, if you get residential facilities, you can get it at a very low cost. For example, if you get a student of Dhaka University, if you get a legal student of a hall of Dhaka University, you have to give only 12 taka per month. Only 12 taka. Okay, these are the facilities, but you have to show the facilities according to the sequence inside the passage, and you have to maintain phrase. You have to maintain the phrase according to the first box. The first box is with the word offering. That is, we have got a word with ing. That is, we can create phrase. We can create phrase by adding ing. We can create phrase by adding to before the word. We can use noun phrase. We can use a past form of the verb omitting the subject, but the format of the answer depends on the subject matter of the flowchart. Okay, what should be the second answer? Dear students, write in the comment box. What should be the second facility? What should be the second facility according to the passage? My dear students, write down. Write in the comment box. I will check it. What should be the answer in the second box? What should be the answer in the second box? What is the passage? Show me the passage, please. Okay, the second answer is I have given you offering wide range of subject. Okay, show me the passage, please. Show me the passage. Okay. The second answer should be okay. In public universities, brilliant students are recruited as teacher. That means the student will get brilliant teachers. That's why we can say number 2. should I write attract, attraction, attracting, or to attract? Which one should I use? Dear students, which format should I use? To attract or attracting or attraction? Which one? According to the first one, I should use attracting. Attracting the best minds to teaching. Okay. Then third box. Our third answer should be I can say I have to start with verb plus ing, dear students. What is your third answer? Write in the comment box. What is your third answer? Can I write providing better library, laboratory, internet facilities? Yes, students, I have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, and 6 words have created a phrase, not a sentence or clause or tense. Okay, that's why this answer is correct. What should be the answer in the fourth box? What should be the answer in the fourth box, dear students? If I say arranging, you can say arranging, you can say holding to, you can say organizing extra curricular activities. Here extracurricular activities means debate, publications, exhibitions, these are. What is our fifth? What is our fifth answer? You can say giving, you can say giving, providing, giving, you can say giving ample scope, giving ample scope, giving ample scope to promising young knowledge seekers. You can say giving ample scope nationally and internationally. The answer is be okay. And the last answer should be providing or giving residential and boarding facilities at a low cost. That is, you have to start with phrase, and the phrase depends on the subject matter, and you can follow the first box. Look at this box. The third box is long, that's why we have to block like that. But this box should not be blocked here. This box should be blocked according to the third one. Okay. The size, the level, the column of all the boxes should be similar. And don't forget to give the arrows. If you don't use arrows, you will get 0. In the last box, we will write providing residential and boarding facilities as low or subsidized cost. Okay. So, my dear students, I am going to repeat what I have told you. For drawing boxes, use pencil. For drawing boxes, use pencil. Make similar boxes. Make similar boxes. You can write either vertically or horizontally. Okay. Inside the boxes, just use phrases or short notes. Okay. Start with capital letter. Don't use full stop. Okay. In order to write the answer, use pen. Don't violate the sequence of answer. Try to maintain the sequence of answer according to the passage. And at last, please don't forget to use arrows. This is the ways, this is the rules of regulations of writing flowchart. And I will make you practice 2 or 3 passages in my upcoming lectures. So my dear students, this is all about flowchart writing. This is our first lecture on flowchart. I will try to conduct another 2 lectures for flowchart writing. Then we will practice a lot. Dear students, your active participation always encourages the teachers. Okay. And we the teachers are working hard for you, and you are requested to give your 100%. Okay. And if you face any difficulty, we are beside you. So we are going to learn something more. We are going to practice some passages of flowchart in the next class. And till then, try to join every class of Dhaka College. Try to take the benefit of these live classes. And this is all for today. Thank you for being with me. And at last, one word for you. Please be active in the comment box. Please don't destroy the environment of the comment box. Okay? Because your friends are learning, and you should maintain the responsibility of ensure a peaceful environment. I will try to evaluate the answer written by you. So my dear students, thank you for being with me. I'd like to invite you to my next lecture that will be held very soon. Till then, goodbye.